used to think that pickling is something hipsters do, but then realized that my peeps in the Middle East have probably pickled everything under the sun. I mean, if it's edible and it fits in a jar, they have it covered. Today we're making a very simple but very delicious baby eggplants pickled in olive oil with some walnuts, with some chilies, with some garlic. It's crunchy, it's spicy, it's earthy, it's really good. So let's do it.
You're probably asking yourselves, where do baby eggplants come from? And the answer is not from two adult eggplants that love each other. Actually, just Arabic markets. That's where they come from. I'm using 1 kilo or roughly 2 pounds. Cut the stems. In a large pot, add 1.5 tablespoons of sugar and add the eggplants. Cover them with cold water. Then keep them submerged by adding a bowl or a plate from above. Bring the water to a boil and then reduce the heat to low and let them cook for 30 minutes. After that, move them to a colander and let them get to room temperature. First, remove what can simply be described as the hat. Cut each eggplant just long enough that it stays connected and just deep enough to reach the center. Then add anything between 1/8 to 1/4 teaspoon of salt, depending on the size of the eggplant. I'm using coarse sea salt. You can also use kosher salt. Just avoid table salt if you can. Set up a bowl under the colander. Add your eggplants. Add a plastic sheet and then press them down using something heavy. I'm using an old pressure cooker that I fill up with water, but you are free to press them with whatever you have in the kitchen. Just keep in mind that they need to stay in the fridge, like this, for 12 hours until they lose as much moisture as possible. On the side, mix 3 red chilies, that's roughly 50 grams or 2.5 tablespoons, with 6 to 7 crushed garlic cloves, and about 90 grams or 3.5 tablespoons of roughly crushed walnuts, and finally 1 tablespoon of chili flakes. Mix and refrigerate until the eggplants are ready. To sterilize our jars, wash them with soap and water. Then pop them in the oven for 20 minutes at 140 Celsius or 285 Fahrenheit. Wash the rubber part by letting it sit in boiling hot water for 10 minutes. After 12 hours, stuff each one with about 1 teaspoon of our mixture. Obviously, the bigger eggplants can hold a little bit more, so adjust the size. Stack them in a jar with as little space in between as possible. And add enough olive oil to submerge them completely. Store them in a dry and dark place for 10 days, and after that, knock yourself out. Eat them as is, or serve them with some feta, parsley, pomegranate seeds, some of the olive oil they were in, and enjoy.
Honestly, the hardest part about this recipe is to find the baby eggplants, but after that, it's smooth sailing. But if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to help. I'll leave you all the ingredients right below this video, and I'll see you next time. Take care.